Hi guys, so let's talk about Amazon sponsor brand placements. So I'm not talking about usual sponsor product placements, but Amazon sponsor brand placement. So placement reports and placement adjustments and how you can leverage that to save a ton of money. I see that many sellers are skipping this option because it's kind of hidden, so let's dive in. My name is Igor and I'm the co-founder of Amazonia PPC agency. We've been helping Amazon brands scale their businesses since 2016, so let's dive in. This option can be found when you navigate to the regular reporting section in your campaign manager. So from the top of the drop down, you must select sponsor brands, obviously. Then under the report type, you will see two important placement reports. So the one is keyword placement. So this is huge. So for sponsor brands, you can actually see the placement performance on a keyword level. You cannot see that on sponsored products unless you have single keyword campaigns. But here for sponsor brands, you can see the keyword placement report, which shows you really meaningful data. And the other one is the regular campaign placement report, which will give you something similar to what you're seeing in your sponsored product ads. So let's start with the campaign placement report first. Sorry. So you should select the biggest reporting period you available, but for this purpose, I've only selected the last 30 days. So let me find it where we have, yeah, let's start with the campaign first. So the difference here is that you cannot see the exact same data as you used to see for a sponsored product, but it's still giving you a lot of information. So yeah, important note. Um, yeah, let's skip that. Let's leave that at the middle or at the end of the video. Don't want to bombard you with everything at the very beginning. With sponsored brand ads, what is really important is that you need to distinguish what are the impressions and what are the viewable impressions. I've spoken about that on LinkedIn post I had a month ago, but impressions, many people think that impressions is the number of how many people saw your ad and are happy when they see that number increasing, thinking that it's the reach. In general, yes, that's the reach, but by definition, impression is when your ad is served, not when somebody saw your ad. And this goes for both sponsored brands and sponsored display and sponsored products. So your ad can be served somewhere on the page at the bottom, for example, and nobody saw it. It's still an impression, or you can be served page 2, page 3, wherever. Still counts as an impression. But the viewable impression, by definition, is when your ad is viewable. 50% of it is viewable for more than 1 second. So that's something that's meaningful, at least. Um, and you can easily compare the number of the impressions and actual viewable impressions on any campaign. So it's really useful to pull. And I think this is available on any sponsor brand reports, but here we can also see it. So it's 131,000 of impressions on product pages, and out of that only 6,000 is viewable impressions. So it's a huge difference. Additionally, you can see the actual detail page views, if I'm not mistaken, maybe not here. Yeah, detail page views over here, like DPV. So pay attention to that so you can actually estimate how many people actually did see your product. So, for example, you can think like, hey, I'm getting impressions, but nobody's clicking. So it could be that you just, as very often is the case, that you're not bidding aggressive enough. So your ad is served. You're getting impressions, but nobody's viewing your ad or your product, that is. Um, Additional thing while we're at it, I want to add that on this report, you can also see the performance of your video ads. So how many people actually saw the first quarter of your view, then how many watched the video until the mid section, and then third section and complete views. Also, a huge difference in terms of how you think your video ad is performing. So take a look at that. And additionally, another bonus tip is how many of those were unmutes. So you can have an amazing audio, as you should, on your video, but that doesn't matter because video starts on mute by default, so nobody can hear you speaking. If you have only audio on your video without any overlay text, you're missing out. So one can really sometimes never tell what the product is about until the midpoint or the at the end. So focus on having your product visible and in action in the first 5 seconds, and have an overlay text explaining what's happening in the video. So out of the uh, out of the how many people saw the first quartile of the video and how many of them actually unmuted the video, it's always a huge difference um, than what you actually can think of. Now, back to the topic. These were only a side topics. So let's analyze campaign by campaign. So here, sorry, I've been coughing for so many weeks now. Here you can see the actual, let's take, this is the one campaign only. So let's select top of search because by default that's where majority of sales are coming from. So here I highlighted an important fact. Here we can see that majority of viewable impressions come from top of search. What is also interesting that impressions, big number of impressions actually come from product pages and rest of search. So in total, 240,000 of impressions. But viewable impressions, take a look at this, from when served on top of search, almost, let's say almost, most of those are actually viewable impressions, while on the other hand, on product pages and the rest of search, only a fraction of those impressions are actually viewable. So on top of search, we have a spend of $360 or euros, and we have an ACoS here and conversion rate. Here you can see that this would be the total spend on this campaign, which is 450 euros. And out of those 450, 85 is a complete waste. Okay, you had one sale, but that's insignificant. So that's what you can adjust by having this option changed. So there's an option when you build out a campaign, and also available after you created a campaign. So no worries if you skip this option when creating campaigns, you can go back to it and just select this toggle button here. But please note that this is not available for old sponsor brand campaigns. So if I'm not sure about the actual date. I think it was rolled out last year or something like that, but I keep seeing the old sponsor brand campaign, so that's not available over there. But for newly, like a year and a half maybe, let's call that newly created sponsor brand type of ads, you will see this toggle button here. What that does is it allows Amazon to automatically optimize bids for placements other than top of search. So automatically they will optimize all the others except top of search. For top of search, what you bid, that's what you get, and for the other than top of search, they will optimize. When you toggle that button, immediately you see the option to decrease or increase the bids for placements other than top of search. Unfortunately, you cannot select separately for product pages and rest of search, but both of that combined. That's what we're having at the moment. Hopefully we'll see that functionality in the future. So depending on what you see on the sponsored brands placement report, here you can adjust accordingly. So here it wouldn't be a waste if we decrease the bids on both of these product pages and rest of search on Amazon, because we're going to save good amount of money here and improve our ACOS. Another good point here, for example, let's say, let's take a look at this campaign. So top of search, again, a lot of viewable impressions, a lot of clicks. Here you can see that there are many clicks happening on product pages and the rest of search with only one sale happening. So in total, that's how much? That's 221 euro, and out of those you can save 70 euros. So it's almost a third of a budget, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a good example how by enabling that button you can save money. This example, this is a small account, this is only 30 days, but imagine if you're having if you're a 7 or 8 or 9 figure seller, so this can give you really a huge savings across the account. Sorry, that's gonna happen during this video, me coughing. Anyway, so I think this is it for the campaign placement report. So it's good to know that this is available for sponsor brands. Unfortunately, it's not available through Campaign Manager as easy as it was for as it is for sponsor product, but still it's there. Use it wisely, save money, do not let it go to waste. Now let's cover the other interesting report that we have for sponsor brand campaigns. It's called keyword placement reports, and you can find it under the report section under the sponsor brands drop down, and then you should select keyword placement. I've tried this report for another account in US. It didn't work, but for this, fortunately, it did. So we can analyze what's happening. So as I said, on a keyword level, you can see the actual performance here. This is game changer for me. I didn't see this report before. Maybe I was skipping it as many others because I was focusing on the campaign placement report, but here we can see the keyword placement report. If this is available for so many time now, then it's on me. I totally skipped it, but let me share it with you. So here you can see, compared to the previous report that I shared, campaign placement reports, you have a breakdown for top of search, rest of search, and placement PDPs. But here you have only top of search and other placements. Okay, here you can see that for every campaign that we have, sponsor brands, we can have the breakdown at a keyword level, how each of the keywords is performing on different placements. This is huge for me, as I said. So I've marked this one as a really interesting one. So this keyword this is the performance. Let's analyze it step by step. So top of search, we have clicks, a bunch of clicks, good click-through rate, solid CPCs. Most of the spend is coming from top of search, which is expected, and these are the sales, pretty high ACOS. But take a look at the other placements. So it's obviously not utilized. We can skip the impressions because that's irrelevant, but the number of clicks is very low. Lower click-through rate as expected compared to the top of search. Lower CPCs, that's good. Low spend as it is underutilized. ACOS is pretty low. So on 8 euros that we spent, we've had 2 sales bringing us 57 euros. Conversion rate 10% compared to the 2.77% for top of search. Now, this may not be something that's gonna bring us huge amount of money, but it's a good topic for brainstorming. So we cannot increase placements for other placements other than top of search for this single keyword unless we have a single keyword campaign. Again, we are back to that topic where I recommend where you can afford to manage that number of campaigns. Always go with the single keyword campaigns, at least for the most important keywords. What you can do, you can create a new campaign for this keyword, and then you will be able to isolate and adjust set the placement adjustments for these other placements um, positioning, and you can maybe then increase it by, I'm not sure how high can we go. Is it by also by up to 900 as we can, because the help is actually not available, because when you click to get help, okay, I can see it now. The few moments ago it was showing the blank page. It doesn't mention how high can we go, but let's assume that we can go up to 900% as we did. You can test that and let me know in the comments how that goes. So you can isolate that keyword in a separate campaign, and you can then boost other placements and see how that goes. It can be a gold mine for you. So these are some of the things that you should be thinking. Let's experiment together and let me know how you like this. I can easily call it hack. So I never heard anybody talking about sponsor brand placements adjustment. I've seen that in the actual campaign. It works, believe me. So try it out and let me know what you think about it in the comments. It's been a pretty long video, but still there were a lot of things to cover. So yeah, see you in the next one, guys. Bye bye.